Yo. Bear with me one sec. Just putting the stream out onto my Instagram. Done. There we go. Right, I'm back. I had to just jump off earlier. Help my mum with something very quickly, but we are back. Okay, so we continue. We are working on Mirza Sahiba. Got quite a bit to get through. I'm just doing some of the line work on the dress, on the sari, on the bottom half. Once we complete her, we'll start on Mirza. Hey, welcome back. Again, we're just chilling. There's not too much madness. Just trying to get the process out there for some of the people that need it. Hopefully it's a bit useful. So, right, where were we? We were down here. My hands are freezing cold because I was just in the snow right now. I just had to do a little something, but we're back. Right, so I'm gonna start from here. Let me know if you guys can see the line clearly enough, unless you need it thicker. If you need a thicker line, I can make it. I can change the settings on it so it's more visible. But right now I've made it blue. This is how I usually use it anyway. Should be okay. So yeah, there we are. So again, just making these bits. Again, I wanted to depict Mirza Sahiba in this in a bit of a different format. There will still be the tree and the nature background. But I think I always see the same pose for some of the pieces that haven't sometimes been overdeveloped over the years. So you always see Mirza Sahiba depicted against the tree, and Mirza is falling asleep on her lap, and you see the inkling of the bow and arrows that he's got. And I wanted to really not pull away from that side of the story too much, but I wanted to change the pose, you know, have more of a passionate feel to it, because I think that's more important, like to depict that passion, that love, especially for it as a Valentine's piece. I wanted to give that pure essence of love between them. So that's what we do. This is quite wavy as well. We're just working through it bit by bit, pacing the layer style, continuing. So this bit, I don't know what I did with the lines here, but I'm gonna probably start a new line from here. Actually, no. I think I missed one out fully, so I'm gonna start one here. It's literally just these waves. Pretty cool. And sometimes they can go behind and overlap. There's going to be more lines obviously that will kind of reflect that as well, because when all the shading comes into play, everything makes more sense. There's quite a few different streaming apps that you can use. Look into it, but I'm using OBS right now. If you want to stream on Twitch, you can use Twitch Studios. but right now I'm using OBS, which stands for Open Broadcast System, I think. Open Broadcast Server, I think. Yeah, I think that's what it stands for. Put the music up a little bit. We've got some classics on. Classic Desi Slow Jams by DJ Sarge. Big up. Oh, on the wrong layer. I'm just copying and pasting out of the base layer. So let's pick up from this little point here. What a tune. This is actually one of my favorite songs. So let's bring in the darkness from the left side. I want that to repeat actually on all of these. It shouldn't actually come from the right side, it should come from the left. So let me just select all these layers, paste the layer style. It should change direction like that. This one as well. And the last one, let's just copy and paste it straight out of this. Don't need to like make any curves because the curve's already there. There we go. Okay, starting to come together quite nicely. We've got a lot of lines to make now, so like separate lines as well as then shading. So I'm gonna just put these into a group very quickly. I think, let's see the selections. We want as much of it as we can. I think that's most of the bottom half. Just turn it on and off just to check. Yep, perfect. So now I can turn this whole group layer opacity down a little bit so I can start seeing the lines behind it. Now let's grab a brush, maybe thickness can be around, that's too thick. We want to make sure it's the same as the others. Yeah, I think that's about right. That's a 9. Let's make it 8. 8's good. So we're going to start from this point here, this corner point. Hold on, there's something on my map. Right, cool. And start building these lines. What a tune. Legend. Okay. I'm going to continue this line actually a little bit. I'm going to just bring it down here and just end it down here. So again, I'm just moving my curves about. They don't need to be too specific. I just want them to make sense in the flow of the fabric. So let's get another one. Let's bring it up here. I think we could do another few. Yeah, this is a song. This man is unmatched, truly. Okay. Stroke the path, and we get that. Quite nice. It's a satisfying moment when you see it come together like this. Trust me, even more satisfying when we get the shading on there as well. So let's get a nice little fold here. few other spots where I want some folds, so let's get one here. Another one here. Let's follow this line. And another one here. Zoom in a bit more for this. We want to make sure that we don't get away from the path too much as well. This whole mix is very fitting for the story of Mirza Sahiba. It's mad because there's a lot of betrayal, there's a lot of very crazy shit that goes on. I don't know how else to describe it. Okay, building quite nicely. Let's get another few little lines just down here as well. I feel like I'm using instinct now. Like, creative instinct is very important when you're just kind of like going with the flow. Things don't always need to be correct, but if you see something, put it in there, see how it looks afterwards. But I very much over time have kind of learned and taught myself how to kind of just put in lines and feel where the art should go. Keep it very natural, you know. Sometimes people are very, very too hard on themselves, I feel like, you know, trying to make things so specific, and by doing that I feel like you kind of lack that original feel a little bit, if that makes sense. This is why I've started to do some pieces, all these lines and stuff, without the reference behind it. I only have the sketch behind it, and that's just my own sort of take. So again, you start seeing these folds start like making sense, you know, like how the fabric twists and turns. The more of these you do, it will become more of a challenge putting in the shading, because you got to reflect all that as well. So it does make things a little bit more difficult, but in the long run it makes for such a more detailed and realistic piece. It's more immersive, having all these other elements that other people might not straight away see, but for you and yourself, like for your process, I think it will it just teaches so much about being more of an original artist. So I'm just putting in these lines, kind of following the curve, doing the in-betweens. Just doing these curves and waves. Let's start another one here. And there are times, sometimes my shading style will change or my coloring style will change, but I think it more so depends on the piece, what kind of style I'm going for, what kind of approach I'm going for, you know. A lot of the recent pieces that I've done entail more of that neon vaporwave aesthetic, which is a whole different style of shading and use of color. Let's drop that one down here. Cool, I think that's good as well. Let's maybe drop a nice long line down here. Stroke path. There we go. Nice. We'll approach this this edge bit afterwards. That doesn't need to be done yet. You'll see that line there, but that's going to be a goldy color like this. Then we'll put a bit of design in there. So right, okay. Let's bring this back up. The opacity. Let's take a look. Always zoom out, take a look how the piece is kind of looking together. I think that's quite nice. Again, don't worry about his hand there. I'm going to put a little cuff there for his hand just to cover that little joint section. And a lot of shading will start to go in his arm later on as well. So let's do her leg very quickly. So the crease of the leg, the inside part of the knee. What do you call that? The back part, the back of your knee, I guess. Yeah. So that little line gives that feel there. Love showing a bit of leg. Don't know, shall we put a bit of a tattoo on her as well? You know, if we're going to modernize it, let's modernize it properly, right? I mean, to be honest, if I was doing a full modernization of the artwork, I would put them in a whole different scenario. Like on a train, like chilling on a train as they're like eloping or something. Or maybe like on the back of a truck. You know, that would be super cool. I'm definitely gonna add this like very strong sunset behind. It's the area no one knows how to shave. Well, I wouldn't know because I don't do that anyway, but maybe that's for the ladies. I think that's definitely for the ladies. Okay, let's drop a gradient here. Skin tone. Spoke about skin tones last time. I'm just gonna select the skin tones that I've got already going on, so it's all matched. I think that's quite nice. Let's bring the darkness going in from the top. There we go. So the direction of the gradient is very important. Outline. Outline's 11. I think that's quite nice there. Don't need to be too much there. I think the shading will say a lot afterwards. So I'll usually do shading, like shape shading, and then a bit of airbrush shading, just to give that little accentuation of layers. So right, okay. Shading time. Just dive in with the shading and just go at it. See how many shapes I have to make, because it takes a bit of time. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a bit of time, but we have to start somewhere and at some point. So I would say let's start from, let's see where all the layers are, where we are with this piece. We've got these. That's all of the skirt section. So the skirt and the leg is all down here. So I've got two groups. Actually, no, sorry, one group. There you go. Yeah. And we'll work directly on top of this. And let's just go at it. I'm gonna try and figure this out as I go. I'm dreading it. Right, okay. Let's start from here. Maybe from here. Okay. Hopefully it's clear enough as well. Let's just check. Right, I think that's clear enough. If the blue can be seen, then that's perfect. So I'm gonna zoom in nice and tight here, so it's all visible. So again, you see how I'm just kind of going forward and backward on myself to achieve this this sort of effect of detailed shadows. And I've been doing this for a long time. It's just like making a curve, coming back on your curve, building another curve off of it, so these points just keep on going. Cool, perfect, thank you. And zooming in tight for these kind of things is very important, just to really get these lines as close as possible. Provide that illusion of heavy shading. So again, this fold is very prominent here. So I'm gonna build that out a little bit. What's the name of the song in the background? It's a mix, but it's quite an old song, and Justin Timberlake. Apple Man is trolling you. God knows. Sorry, I did just read that out. Apple Man, are you trolling me? Who smells? Who said who smells what? I'm so confused. Oh, okay. Alright, minor. It's fine, we can ignore people here. It's okay. Okay. We've got a nice shade here. Okay, this next part, we're gonna just kind of follow these lines here. Oh God. Okay, let's just make sure, yeah, that whole bottom layer is down there. So I'm just going to duplicate that whole group and flatten it very quickly. So merge the group. So later on, when I finish this complete part of shading, all of the lines, I can just copy and paste it out of there and apply it. Otherwise, I'm going to get all these edge pieces dropping out when I make the full layer. So, okay, we progress. These bits are the folds for the grab of the fabric. So again, I wanna kind of show that there's all of these different layers and lines coming off of that. So let's drop one here. Follow these black lines that I did. Follow the shadow that the hand would make as well. So there's all these things to consider as I'm working on this. I have to kind of think ahead of what I'm doing so I make the lines that reflect it all as well. So let's bring this around here. Maybe we can do another little bit just down here as well. So I'm really like continuing out now. I'm flowing into the actual fabric now, like, so I need to always bring it back. God, this is such an old song. Partners in Rhyme. Damn. What layer am I on? 132. Again, that's probably not the real number, because some things are flattened. But yeah, right now I'm on layer 132. So this line is very obvious as well. So this is all shading layer, by the way. I am... Yep, triple digits already. Because all the face layers and the body layers you have to take into account as well. There's a lot happening in those groups. So I'm going to continue this. Probably darken a lot of this, to be honest. Nice shade there. Let's bring this one down a little bit more. Cool. Okay. Nice. I am armed with coffee as well, so we will not lose any energy during this process, but we'll keep moving. It's fine. Not that we were going to. There's a lot of darkness coming from these corners as it folds, so I'm going to make sure that the shading is a fat part of the mix. Just follow along the black lines. Nice. I probably will come back onto this as well later on. Once I make the layer, when I see all the black, I can start to remove certain parts as well, so that I can actually see bits of highlights in between, underneath the black. So let's start from here now. Working our way down, going along this line. There we go. Okay. Should we see how this is looking for now? Let's copy and paste that on. So, make selection. Copy, paste. Just going to make it black. Yeah. So that's literally what we just made. And we keep on going. move on to the next bit, which is just down here. Can keep on developing and bringing in these lines. Some people would think that it's quite a dreary process, but it's a necessary one. I think it's quite therapeutic sometimes as well, if you have the right kind of vibe going on. Just flow with the artwork. Again, there's never any rush. But Hiranja is looking... Oh, not Hiranja. I'm going to get confused sometimes. I meant Mirza Sahiba. There's so many other stories as well. There's Soni Mahiwal, I think I have to do at some point. I'm really into this storytelling style of art right now. And I'm loving that I can interpret in my own way. So yeah, Soni Mahiwal is another one I think I will do next. But we'll give it a little bit of a gap in between. Of course, I've got to finish this one first. Just lay that there. I think that's quite nice. What's the genre called? Of the music? The mix? Well, the mix is actually Desi Slow Jams by DJ Sarge. Indian tragic love stories. Well, okay. Oh, right, okay, that's what you mean. So it's just by the name, Soni Mahiwal or Mirza Sahiba. There's Heer Ranja. And yeah, I think you will find it just searching it up. There will be a lot of good references in terms of how you can actually read the story or learn about what happened. Such a good mix. Cool. Right. Next bit. Let's come back to this bit. Super wavy down here. Just end it right here as well. Bring it back. These are some nice big shapes that we just need to put in. Again, bear in mind that there's going to be a lot of detail happening down here, and I think the highlights will bring this out more than anything. I'm working pretty fast right now. I think this is a good speed when I start working at this sort of pace. It's more of a just kind of trusting where I'm going with it, and I'm in the zone. Hey Amy, welcome. Thank you for joining. How are you? I haven't got face cam on because for some reason it squishes my face. Don't know why it does that, so just kept it off. Plus, I'm looking a bit rough, so. Right, how are we looking? So you see, like, the kind of scale that that we're working at. We've got so much to get through, but all these little bits of shading will make the biggest difference. Let's start from up here. Let's complete this little section here as well. You can choose to do some simpler shading rather than all the little cut bits that we keep on bringing out and coming back on yourself like this. Doesn't always need to be done like that. So sometimes if there's like bigger areas that I feel like just can be filled up like this. So you see, I just did it now. It's literally, that's all it needs sometimes. Sony Babla, what a legend as well. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to get my way through it right now. I think we'll make a lot of progress today. And unfortunately, again, for anyone who's watching on here, I am still banned on Instagram to go live. So this is the next best thing. And I still don't know why, but it's fine. At least this still becomes a video that people can watch back later on as well. And you can see it clearly, and you can like properly see what I'm doing, rather than me trying to video a screen from my oh wait, did I mess up? I think I did mess up. This happens sometimes where I kind of lose track of where I actually started the point. There we go. Okay, here we go. Sorted. Yeah, so people can watch this back later as well and just kind of, you know, reference through and see the process properly as I talk and explain what I'm doing. So right here I am just going towards the edge of all of these waves. So I'm gonna kind of start the shape from back here. This is where a lot of the darkness should preach out from this way, like how I'm bringing all of these down. This should go in this direction. So I'm going to start from up here. We've got all of this to work on now, so all of this section will be done. Let's see how long it takes. I mean, again, no rush, bit by bit. I just work quite quick, so don't mind me if I'm going too fast. I'm going to try and explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. I mean, it looks quite evident anyway from what I'm doing. You guys can see it. Thank you so much. So this is beautiful. This these curves will come out so nice. Like I already know. I guess that's the confidence you need to have in your art sometimes, in your process, you know. Do what feels right, even if it feels a bit outspoken at first. There's no right or wrong, so you do you. Stretching these all the way out and bring it back again. Following these lines quite nicely, quite smoothly. Should start channeling my inner Bob Ross, right? And just like creating these waves wherever you feel like. Difference is I have an undo button, but Bob Ross never had that. That's what makes him more of a G than me. Shit. Yeah, tune, love this tune. people who knew music from this era this was like epic times. The music that was coming out was different, like groundbreaking shit, man. '90s babies will know. Okay. Nice big shades here. Got big layers to work with, so again, so much spike shading. Look how many points there are. I don't even know how many vector points there are here. So it's literally dragging curve. This is probably actually a really good way to explain how this thing works. So look, like you make your point and you click and drag. So you carry on the curve and you can make it out long, short. So it's literally like you click here, it will follow the curve. Click here, it will follow the curve. Click out here, it will follow the curve. And if I click and hold and drag, you start to refine that curve. So this is how, if I want it to come up to here, I can bring it here, I can bring it back down. It's a really nice tool. Can be a bit fiddly sometimes. So you just drag, curve, bring it back. Point, drag, curve. And that's that. Pretty self-explanatory. The thing is, me explaining it is one thing, but if you're gonna try and use this, literally you have to just use it and figure out and get your feel for it. Bring this one up, and we're nearly there. We're nearly going to join back to the original starting point now. Look, we're here. So I'm not actually going to even hit it. I'm gonna come back first and then come back like this. Now make selection, copy and paste. Make it black. There we go. Take a look at that. Looks mad. Right, okay. So we have our shaded layers. I mean, one layer full of shading. All dark shading is there. Let's turn that layer on. Let's go into layer styles. Turn the opacity down. Straight away you'll start to see this like obvious shade that's it just comes together so nicely. So we've got that. Let's maybe add a bit of a gradient from dark to light. Put it on multiply and see what it does. Turn the fill opacity down even more, because now we can start directing this. Make it more or less. I think we want it on more. Let's add some red. Multiply again. Nice. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Let's bring the opacity on that down just a little touch. There we go. Let's check that out. Let's pretty nice. Gotta have me some coffee, you know how it is. Some PMC happening. Jeriska, I just saw your DM. Thank you. Okay. Right, now highlights. So it doesn't stop there. Literally, that's even, to be honest, not even highlights. We can actually do another depth layer of shading. However, we don't need to do as much as we did before. So this starts to become your second layer of shading. So now it's just me picking out these little points where I feel like it needs to be darker. And I can get a little bit more fluid with it. Do that. So let me just show you a quick example of what I mean by this second layer of shading. So we take that, bring it out, and there you go, more black. So now if you fade that down, there you go. So you have your second layer there. And we're just bringing it out of what we already have. So I'm just literally making these curves and copying and pasting it out of what we've already got. And let's do some nice big swipes down here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Some more hair as well. Let's see. Let's take it just here. Also, if I'm not talking too much, it's because I'm fully concentrating. So I'm trying to explain as I'm doing things anyway. But it's more of a visual thing. You guys can see it. Sometimes there's not too much I can say as well at the same time. Nice. Copy and paste. Turn it down. So I think what I'm going to do just here, because there's a lot of fold happening here where he's grabbing the jadder, I'm going to just delete these little bits. There you go. Nice. And we carry on. Jind Mahi. Is Jin the Mahi another one? Is Jin the Mahi another story? So we've got Hiranja, we've got Sony Mahabal, you got Mirza Sahiba, you got Sasi Pannu. That's another one. I think Jin the Mahi is another one as well. I need to actually look into that. It might be. Oh, what a tune! Tune, tune, tune. See, this is what gets me in the zone. This gets me hyped. Memories. Okay. Copy and paste. Bring it down. Same principle happening here. Let's do a few more just down here as well. Nice, okay. I think I'm happy with that. So this has taken us an hour. I am going to try and make these videos only about an hour long each, because I think that's quite a nice size, and there's a lot that can happen in that time, but at the same time it's a lot of detail and very strenuous process. So I'm gonna stop the video here, and I'm gonna restart the live stream, and then we will continue on to doing some highlights and the leg shading as well. So stay tuned, part 3. Join back on, whoever's here, and we will keep it moving. Peace out, much love. I will be back in a moment.